Your Excellencies and honorable guests， 现在开始合影。Thank you， 谢谢。
Yes. If you want to attend the meeting. Stand behind the line for media.
阿尔巴尼斯总理，各位中澳政府和企业家朋友，大家下午好。首先，我代表活动主办方中国商务部，对各位企业家代表出席第8届中澳工商界首席执行官圆桌会议表示热烈欢迎和诚挚感谢。过去几年，在习近平主席和阿尔巴尼斯总理重要共识的战略指引下，在两国政商各界的共同努力下，中澳经贸关系保持稳定健康发展。李强总理和阿尔巴尼斯总理连续2年出席圆桌会，充分体现了两国领导人对中澳经贸合作，特别是对两国企业家意见建议的高度理解。当前，全球经贸格局正在经历深刻调整，但总体看，中澳经贸合作的机遇大于挑战。刚才呢，双方企业家就深化扩展两国经贸合作、培育传统的新兴领域合作增强点、改善营商环境、挖掘绿色转型合作潜力等4项议题进行深入讨论。为进一步深化扩展两国经贸关系提出了宝贵建议。接下来，我们将邀请双方企业家代表汇报讨论情况，并请两国总理做回应讲话。首先，请圆桌会澳方企业家主席、澳大利亚商业理事会首席执行官布莱克先生做汇报。
Australia and China CEO encounter is an opportunity to focus on continuity, certainty and growth opportunities in one of Australia's most important relationships. And it's particularly back in this round, which is the first since 2016. As I said in our report further than last year, is the government's decision to use trading relationships and the business to bring those relationships to life. That is business leading and rights statement. When we last held the roundtable, there was momentum building in our way, and over the last year, we have seen the fruits of that close cooperation and collaboration. While we have come far, our business leaders that we've heard today still see much greater opportunity to further deepen our economic ties. Your Excellency, Prime Minister, before Mr. Xiao provides a summary of commentary shared by our Chinese local participants today, I will share some of the key recommendations that we have by Australian participants. In this regard, I'm delighted to be joined by Business Council of Australia members who have travelled a long way to be here today and are now at the honour of this. Mr. Simon Ireland, the representative for ANZ. Ms. Geraldine Slattery, President of Australia for Rio Tinto. Rebecca Baosteel, Chair and Senior Partner for Fortescue, President of Tripcom. Professor Sharon Pickford, Vice Chancellor and President of Fortescue. Mr. John Berry, Director of Corporate Finance Objectives. Mr. Paul Serra, Managing Director and Chief Executive of Sunrise. Professor Isabella Rose, Vice Chancellor and President of BSW. Mr. Anthony Shaw, Chief Executive Officer of the HSBC Australia. Mr. David Olsen, President of the Australian China Institute. Shimara Wakanai, Managing Director and CEO of Warrior. Mr. Martin Stella, Managing Director and Executive Officer of Bluescope. Dr. Andrew Forrest, Executive Chairman of the Cabinet Board. Ms. Kelly Parker, Chief Executive of Rio Tinto. At this afternoon's roundtable, Australian participants provided remarks and recommendations across 4 key areas of discussion. First, addressed how to further deepen and expand bilateral economic and trade cooperation. On this topic, we heard from our Australian delegation the importance of mutual recognition of qualifications and on ensuring that we facilitate the transfer of leading expertise. We also heard of the value of interoperability of sustainable finance taxonomies. We next explored how to build cooperation in existing and emerging fields such as education and smart grid. Our Australian members shared the vision consider establishing regular ministerial dialogue, including with respect to right policy. And there are opportunities for partners to partner to develop smart agriculture projects focused on irrigation and precision farming technology. We next discussed how enterprises and governments are both acting to further improve the bilateral business environment. Considering we heard from our Australian members on opportunities for what are the other and how we might explore special economic zones regulated governments to ease cost of doing business. Lastly, we discussed operation green and global. Prime Minister, you of course heard some of this feedback during yesterday's reception of the economy. Broadly, the Australian transparent inside Thursday, the importance of facilitating partnerships between us and Europeans and vital countries. And secondly, the importance of prioritising research and development opportunities by lower emissions sustainable. Your Excellency, Ms. Wang, Prime Minister, the economic and business relationship between Australia and China is strong and robust. And what I have spoken to today reflects just a snapshot of the suggestions that were made during the course of today's roundtable. I know Mr. Xiao will shortly share recommendations that have been brought forward by the Chinese participants, and we will of course share with you in due course a fulsome summary of those recommendations. As we look towards the future, our broadest recommendation is that we must be bold in seizing the many opportunities in front of us. As Mr. Zhu, Chairman of the Bank of China, said in our roundtable just now, we are all in partners. It goes without saying that constructive dialogue between our two nations is business confidence. To that end, this roundtable continues to be the best place to build the personal relationships that foundation to our economic relationship. On behalf of the Australian
家主席国家开放银行董事长赵欢先生的报告。
非常感谢这是对两国双方的家庭我是本届中华会商会首席执行官员，因为我在开会于是介绍参加中方大学校务委员会主任中国银行董事长张宽，中信集团董事长习国良，中粮集团董事长吴清先生，中国海洋集团总经理周书长，中国保险集团王伟生，比亚迪公司董事长周毅，顺丰集团三一集团全职蔡明洲先生，一路集团光阳集团中东科技公司康先生，天齐锂业公司董事长赵金喜女士，优和集团董事长孙志先生。今天下午，中澳双方官方代表围绕4个方面的深入交流。大家一致认为，今年是中澳经贸协定签署10周年，也是中澳前面战略合作关系第20个10年的开始。两国应相见，以站在战略高度，坚定了两国领导人达成的重要共识，共同推动中澳经贸合作起到更多贡献，作为维护世界稳定贡献。大家有几个见解，一是进入韩国中澳经贸协定深化拓展经贸合作，中方工商界希望各方伙伴携手应对全球经济发展新挑战，坚定捍卫各种领域经贸体系，深挖中澳经贸协定的潜力，解决贸易关系。对此进行讨论，二是进一步合作新兴领域，中方工商界需要与澳方发挥我们的优势，一起新增澳方传递同时为这个教育、智慧产业、医疗、养老提供措施，新兴领域。提升经贸合作，为两国后而且进一步协同改善双边的立场，中方中央对司法后完善对中的对话和政策工作，搭建政企沟通，为中国企业到经营提到中企跟政府对中企市场形成中国工商界、中方工商界也在加强与澳大利亚等国市场基金当地对内4是进一步挖掘绿色低碳转型发展中方工商界希望各方伙伴围绕清洁能源、应对企业当地绿色金融应用深化技术技术交流合作，探索找到更加是更加交流，为全国绿色关系以上是本次会议会
阿巴尼是从近期
very much for them sending away friends and to seeking out new markets and investing in relationships. Engagement, you are ambassadors for Australia in China and for China in Australia. And all of you are ambassadors for this partnership as a whole, for what our businesses and industries can achieve working together. The 10-year anniversary of the China-Australia Free Trade Agreement is an opportunity to reflect on the progress that we've made. And in the leaders' dialogue that we just had, we spoke about commemorating the 10 years on the 20th of December this year. And perhaps the business leaders can think about the best way in which we can do that in both venues in just a few months' time. Since 2015, Australian goods and services exports to China have more than doubled, and Chinese exports to Australia have increased by 80%. Australia is a great trading nation, and China is Australia's largest trading partner by far. This is where the removal of impediments on Australian cotton, copper, coal, timber, hay, barley, wine, red meat and rock lobster has been such a boost for our farmers, growers and exporters. But of course it has also benefited China, the industries that use Australian resources to build and power their growth. Yesterday at the Steel Decarbonisation Forum that was held, we had 4 very significant Australian companies speaking about the export of iron ore, meeting together with the world's largest steel producers here in China, and speaking about how we in a practical way make a difference in lowering global emissions through the development of green metals. That is so important as we go forward. The food manufacturers that also count on high quality Australian produce, and of course Australian Chinese citizens who could sit down and celebrate the Year of the Snake with the best beef and wine that the world has to offer. The resumption and continued growth of trade in these areas is a reflection of the patient, deliberate and calibrated approach that my government has taken to stabilise the relationship between Australia and China. That work continues, including today, with the first CEO roundtable held in China since 2016. A practical demonstration of the benefits of stabilisation, generating greater engagement where it is in the interests of both of our nations. It is an ongoing process with dialogue at its core, but the fact that you have education, finance, resources, different businesses all represented here around this table shows the extent to which it can grow going forward. This dialogue is so important, government to government, business to business. Dialogue builds understanding. It enables us to express our differences and to manage them without our relationship being defined by them. Cooperating where we can, disagreeing where we must, but engaging in our national interest. And that has been our government's approach. Those opportunities for cooperation were a key part of the very warm and productive discussions I've had today with President Xi, with Premier Li and with Chairman Zhao earlier today. This is about building stronger ties where our national interests are aligned, from trade and tourism, education and culture to action on climate change. For many sectors, China is Australia's largest market, our largest source of overseas students, a growing driver of our tourism industry, our largest export destination for iron ore, and a critical source of foreign investment across the board. It is important in forums such as this that we learn from shared success but also plan for common challenges. The structural imbalances of global steel supply that we need to work together to address, what we need to do to maximise the economic opportunities of the global shift to net zero, and how we can ensure the businesses represented in this room, from agriculture, resources, education, services and beyond, have the confidence and certainty to invest in the new skills and technology that will underpin your future growth and productivity. Getting this right here and in Australia will depend on policies that are shaped by your experience and your insights. But my government believes unequivocally in free and fair trade as a driver of global growth. And I know in the discussions that we've had today have been very constructive to that end. One of the great privileges of representing our nation on international visits is meeting with Australians who are achieving extraordinary things overseas. People with the drive to commercialise a new idea, create a new market or build a new market. Australians who have backed themselves to compete and succeed in the world. People whose talent and capacity have benefited both of our nations. And that thread runs from this room all the way to Chengdu, where tomorrow we'll be reflecting on the proud history and exciting future of Australia and China's collaboration in medtech. The Cochlear company is a proud Australian company that is making a difference around the world and is an example of great cooperation in technology and new industries that we can promote here to the benefit of both of our nations. I do want to thank the business community in Australia and acknowledge their support for an optimistic approach to global engagement and the determination to provide support for the government's agenda in promoting that optimistic vision. And thank you for what you do to strengthen the bonds between our two great nations. So to the businesses from China, I thank you very much for your engagement, and I think that this gathering will send a very important message back to Australia about the significance that we place as a government in this engagement and collaboration in the interests of both of our nations, but also, I think it's fair to say, in today's turbulent world, in the interest of global economic activity as well.
非常感谢阿尔巴尼斯总理。现在，让我们以热烈的掌声，有请李强总理致辞。
尊敬的阿尔巴尼斯总理，各位企业家朋友、女士们、先生们，大家下午好！很高兴能够在北京与大家相聚。首先感谢阿尔巴尼斯总理刚才与我们分享了很重要的意见。我也特别高兴听到布莱克主席、赵欢主席，你们两位主席介绍你们今天圆桌会议的讨论成果，特别是大家对中澳经贸合作提出了很多富有建设性的意见。我们感到两国企业都对下一步进一步开展合作充满期待。今年呢，恰逢中澳自贸协定生效10周年，过去10年时间里中澳的经贸合作，尽管我们也经历了一些波折、一些反复，但是依旧展现出 较强的韧性和活力。两国货物贸易接近翻了一番，双向投资增长，我统计了一下，增幅在30%以上。这不仅为我们两国企业创造了丰厚的收益，也为两国人民带来了实实在在的福祉。大家知道，当前国际经贸格局正在发生深刻复杂的变化，不稳定。